Hey guys, it's Coattail Trader here from coattailtrader.com. Coming to you, first video of the new year. I know I haven't made a video in a while. This is going to be the first in a series of videos titled Basics of the Market. I got a lot of requests from people very interested in what I do, and they really want to learn more about it. The problem is they kind of have no idea what I'm talking about, and they have no idea about the market in general. It's not that they're not that they're dumb or anything like that. It's just that there's so much financial jargon out there that it's hard for them to, kind of know what the definitions are. So I'm going to attempt to use these videos as kind of a basics of the market from a, third or fourth grade perspective. Some of these videos may be so basic that you might not even want to watch. Some of them you can kind of skip ahead to whatever your level is. But and these are, I don't want to make them too long. So this one today is actually just going to be what is a stock and what is the stock market? How do they work? So basically, a stock is nothing more than an ownership stake in a publicly traded company. So for example, for this video, I'm going to use Ford just because they're up there right now. So I'm on the Yahoo Finance page. You can use any stock ticker lookup you want. I just like Yahoo Finance because they give you a lot of information when you go there. So you go to the quote lookup, you type the name of the company, the first letter or so. Usually it comes up. The more popular ones do. So you see that, Ford Motor Company. You click on it, and it should take us to the Ford page. And it does. So what you see here, this is the representation of Ford in real time today, January 9, 2014. And this is the time in New York. So they say this is the real-time price. This is actually what it's trading at right now. So if you wanted to own one share of Ford, you would have to buy it for $15.85 as of this time right now. Now, the funny part is most people are very confused by how to do this or how does it work. But actually, if you've ever bought anything on eBay, as I like to say, eBay or Amazon, you already know more than you think you know about how to do this. It's pretty much the same principle. So you have to remember one thing. In order to buy something, someone has to sell you something. There's no like magic stock creating machine on Wall Street. Well, some would argue that, but for practical purposes, there's no stock creating machine out there that says when you want to buy a share of Ford, one just magically appears out of thin air. Someone has to actually sell that to you. So, and that's what the stock market is. The stock market is nothing more than buyers and sellers of publicly traded companies coming together to exchange for one another. So if I want to go to buy a share of stock, typically I don't just go to, if you're my next door neighbor and I say, hey, I want to buy your share of Ford Motor Company, I don't just give you $15 and you give me that share. Now, it's possible that it could work that way in the old days, but now it doesn't really work that way. That's what the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, and all those other exchanges are. Those are the place where the buyers and sellers actually do their business. So if I want to sell a share of Ford, I would simply list it. I would say to my broker, whoever that is, and I'm going to make some videos on how to buy a stock and how to analyze all these numbers that you see right here. I don't want to make each video too long, but there'll be later videos where I explain what all this means. But basically, if I wanted to, let's just say I want to own a share of stock, how do I do that? That's what I'm going to make another video on. But this is just the basics of what is the market and what is a stock. So again, to recap, a stock is nothing more than a share or ownership stake in a publicly traded company. The market or the stock market is nothing more than a place where buyers and sellers of those shares meet. So it's just like eBay. eBay, you have something you want to sell, you go to eBay and sell it. Well, you cannot sell it unless somebody buys it. Again, vice versa, you cannot buy something off eBay unless someone is selling it. So eBay, Amazon, the stock market, it's all the same concept as far as buying and selling. It's really not a whole lot. And I know the problem is you see a lot of these terminology, this terminology here, and people get confused. They're like, well, what does this mean? What does this bid ask? What is this? What's that? Beta earnings? What's PE? I don't get all this stuff. This is what makes investing harder than it needs to be, because my personal opinion is that the financial community has made it difficult, so obviously you need their services. When in reality, unless you have hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars, you really don't need a financial advisor. I mean, for all practical purposes, yeah, sure, okay, if you want to buy some insurance or something, maybe you could use one of those guys. But you can even do that yourself if you know how to look, and it's really not that hard. And that's kind of the fundamental reason why I'm making these videos. I've had some conversations with people, and they're really confused, and I just say to them, wow, it's really not this hard. All of us have done this in our lives at some point. If you've ever bought a car, a house, a TV, you've already done the same things that you need to do when you buy a stock. You've done research, you compare prices, which one's a better value. This one, X has this one and Y has this one. I mean, it's the same exact thing. The problem is the terminology is what scares most people away. So that's what I plan on addressing in this video and subsequent videos just like it, on why it doesn't need to be as confusing as it needs to. All right, well, thanks for watching, and stick around. I will make another one. The next one will probably be explaining what these are. Take care, guys.